Today we see stocks on the move back up. Right up here, are we about to break out? Tomorrow we have some news that may move the market, and no, I'm not talking about the FOMC meeting minutes coming out at 2 p.m. Now we come over and look at how the indices fared across the board today. The Dow was up 740 points. The Nasdaq was up 461 points. S&P 500 up 118 points, with the Russell 2000 being up 5.14. We come on over and look at advancing issues versus declining. There were 79.1% of issues advancing on the day. Then we come over and look at the sectors across the board. Every single sector was in the green, and outpacing everything for the day was technology. Given the fact that we look at the Nasdaq being up 2.35%, we come over and look at Tesla today, a rocket ship on the way up almost 7% on the session. We even have Meta up today, up 2.43%. Google up today, roughly 2.59%. So we can see that the fear has started to abate, and it's not only the fact that we see stocks gapping on the way up, and the fact that we see the fear and greed index sitting at 65. However, when we come over and look at gold real quick, look at gold rejected right near that upper trend line. Gold today was down $63. And this is something to really pay attention to. If indeed gold does start to fall off a cliff here and start coming down lower, that's going to show you that everybody's concerned about tariffs, this, that, and the other are basically subsiding. We have nothing to worry about. Come on in, the water's warm, enjoying the ride to new all-time highs. Treasury Secretary Bessent has a plan to bring down long-term yields, and it says, will it work? And if we come over and look at the yields real quick, look at the 10-year yield on the daily chart. We're seeing it starting to roll over a bit, but let's not forget, we have violated this swing high over here, and we have an ABC target up here about 4.86%. One of the reasons why this is so important, because we know the U.S. is going to have to refinance debt. And part of the reason that Trump is putting on tariffs and causing all this madness is he's trying to get Jay Powell to lower rates. And if Jay Powell isn't going to do it, Bessent thinks that he has the way to do so. We talked about this, I think, one time in the past, but he's talking about the plan to soon lower supplemental leverage ratio for banks, which should theoretically allow them to hold more U.S. government debt, lend more freely, or both. The SLR was established in 2014, is aimed at ensuring the banks have sufficient capital to absorb losses. Now, if they do go ahead and relax this and the banks do buy more bonds, are we setting up another potential historical fate where we see stocks starting to crater a little bit lower? Now, if we come over real quick and we look at one of the high flyers, the leader of AI out here, look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA looks like it's primed and ready to break and make a run out of this area. However, hold your horses real quick, because let's not forget, NVIDIA tomorrow is going to report earnings. Now, this could boost technology stocks in a big way, or we could see the Nasdaq and other technology stocks really start to falter if indeed NVIDIA has a negative reaction to their earnings coming out. Let me know in your comment section down below. Do you guys think NVIDIA is going to be substantially higher or lower tomorrow after the earnings report is released? Now, if we come over and look at the volatility index today, the VIX was down 7.83%. On the 5-minute chart, we can see the VIX was just grinding down all day long. Basically, you could inverse this right with the stock market, where stocks just continue to grind up all day long. Now, if we come over real quick and we look at the Qs out here on the 5-minute chart, you can see we close near session highs. On the daily chart, we're right at that point to where are we going to break out? We basically came down, tried to get into the gap, said, nah, not yet. Boom, rocketed on the way up. MACD indicator just kissed, trying to cross right back up. You can see we're hanging out where all this volume is. Now, if we do start to turn, watch out for the gap from today to be filled. However, if we look over here to the left, we are not that far away from all-time highs. From the closing price to all-time highs, we're only about 3.74% away. And could it be the news this week that potentially propels the Nasdaq all the way up to making new all-time highs? Over here on the 4-hour chart, MACD indicator is still across to the downside. You see that gap from today. However, and it seems like every single gap to the upside, and the indices just say, nah, we're not interested in that. We are not going to fill that out here today. On the 30-minute chart today, big rocket ship of a gap on the way up. MACD indicator starting to get a little bit extended on the 30-minute chart. We see that roll effect. So will we start to get a pullback maybe as soon as tomorrow? If we do, some key levels we want to focus on. One is going to be this minus development area about 519.69. The next one would be down here about 517.62. However, if we start breaking below this little minus development area, watch out for gap support to come back and get tested, 514.63. then the gap to get filled. However, I do want to caution you, if you're trying to get extremely bearish at this moment, now may not be the time. What is going to be the catalyst that's going to push stocks substantially lower? Because if we come over and look at the economic calendar for tomorrow, we can see we get the Richmond Manufacturing Index coming out at 10. Then we have the FOMC meeting minutes. Other than that, no major economic news to contend with. Now, I want to make you guys aware of 3 amazing prop firm deals out there. Apex Trader Funding, 90% off all their evaluation accounts. My Funded Futures, 30% off the Starter Plus plan. And if you're new to My Funded Futures, 50% off all their evaluation accounts for the first account. Then last but not least, the prop firm with the best payout policy out there, Take Profit Trader, 30% off all their evaluations and no activation fee. To take advantage of these offers, use the links in the description box down below. Now, as we come over and look at the futures markets real quick, we can see on the 4-hour chart, what do we got? Well, we're almost right back up towards this area. Now, on the 4-hour chart, we need to grab our Fibonacci extension tool, measure the A to B leg, the B to C leg, and now we can see we have an ABC price completion at 21,718 and 3/4. Now, if we break the swing high right over here, that's going to be a target location I want to focus on. Now, if you want to front run this, it wouldn't be a bad idea to look at this high volume node just below that area at about 21,690 as a potential early exit if you're looking to play that ABC target on the way up. Now, on the 30-minute chart, we mapped out this ABC pattern today on the live stream. And if you guys don't want to miss the next time I go live, make sure you're subscribed and you have the bell notifications turned on for all. This week, we're going to be giving away more Take Profit Trader accounts. Now, you can see today, we basically marked this out. Here was the A to B leg. We had the B to C leg as a corrective leg, and then we projected up here for D. That gave us a price completion, 21,409, and the NASDAQ said, you know what? That's cute, but let's go ahead and push on up, making it all the way to the 127 extension. Now, if we come over and look at the Fibonacci retracement levels, notice we're able to take out an untested point of control today, 21,388, but we have value area high coming in at 21,479 and a half. We have the point of control, 21,448 and a half, and we have value area low coming in at 21,318 and a half. Now, if we do break above value area high and you're feeling froggy, wait and see, can we come back down below it? If we do, we can target that point of control. We can then kind of target this minus development area or even this high volume node on the composite profile. And then just below that would be a structure breakout point. We'd measure that from candle body right up here into the candle wick. And if we grab our Fibonacci retracement tool, measure swing low all the way up here to the swing high, notice that zone is right around the 50% Fibonacci level. Now, if we do end up cracking all those levels and we get a complete rotation down, if we're trading below value area low, watch out and see, can we come back down towards the candle body somewhere in the ballpark of 21,257? We breached that. Then we're looking for a rerun of the lows. Then we still have a target all the way over here, which still has not been hit, somewhere in the ballpark of 21,070. Now jumping over and taking a look at the SPY real quick. What do we got? Well, we're a little bit further away from the breakout point than the NASDAQ. And if we go ahead and we measure right up here from all-time highs down to the closing price today, we're only about 3.64% away from another new all-time highs. Now we can see the MACD indicator just basically just kissing off this level. However, as we're coming up here, notice the MACD indicator, we're almost back at the same level, is potentially going to make a lower high, which would in turn set up MACD divergence. And we'll see if that ushers in some type of correction on the way back down. I got to be honest with you, so many people looking at all-time highs, I will not be surprised if we go ahead and take out all-time highs. You can see the MACD indicator on the 4-hour chart. We see it down here trying to turn up here just a bit. Not a whole lot to see. We have a gap left behind from today, but we have several gaps all along this move on the way up. On the 30-minute chart, big push on the way up. Now, if we do start to pull back a little bit, one of the areas I do want to focus on before the gap would actually get filled would be if we violate gap support at about 584.40. Watch out for this structure breakout point to come back and get tested. That would be anywhere from 581.79 to about 581.13. We breached that. Then I look for the complete gap fill all the way down here, about 579.15. Now notice we are up after hours. After hours, we are trading higher than what we did during the trading session. You can see it was just a rocket ship on the way up. Every candle was green. We didn't get our first down candle until the 2 o'clock candle on a 30-minute chart. That is massive out there. Now, at some point, we will get a correction. Do we pop up a little bit, then pull back, and then try to form an ABC pattern up to take us back to all-time highs? The jury's still out. Now, coming over and look at the futures markets real quick. On the 4-hour chart, what do we got going on here? Well, one of the areas I thought we'd come back and visit this week would be all within this minus development area. We've already overthrown it. Now it looks like the market's trying to make it up towards this high volume, towards value area high at 5966.25. Also note, we talked about this today on the live stream. I won't be surprised if the market comes and trades in this area a little bit, building out this profile a little bit. All right. Whenever we see valleys within the profile, think about that as areas of inefficiencies in the market. The market wants to come back, explore that area, and see if we can get price acceptance around that price point. Then we come over, look at the 30-minute chart with the daily profiles. We smashed the ABC target on the way up, very similar to the NASDAQ. We had the A to B leg, we had the B to C leg, and then we got the C to D leg, which completed at 59.35. And the market was a little bit of an overachiever, actually pushing up a little bit higher after hours. Now, one thing to note, we do have two untested point of controls above us. The first one at 59.47 3/4. We're not that far away from it. And the next one at 59.60.25. However, we do have a point of control left behind from last week as well. Now, keep in mind, these are not consecutive point of controls. So if you look out here tonight, you're going to see a yellow line going across here being the point of control if you have volume profiles up on your chart. I would not count this as 3 consecutive point of controls. They are not 3 days back to back. So it's going to be a little bit different. Just wanted to go ahead and remind you guys of that. Now, value area high comes in at 59.41.25. If we can break above that tonight, I'd love to see 47 get taken out, then come back down. If we then come back down, target the point of control. Target all within this minus development area here. Then target value area low at 59.04. We breached that. I'm looking back down here towards the candle bodies at about 58.86.5. Now, if we break value area high and we stay above it, then you know what? Depending on your time horizon, you might want to see if you can hold out. Then the next target would really be value area high off the weekly, and then that weekly target, that weekly high as well at 59.93. Anything above that, we're probably running all the way back to new all-time highs. Now, if you guys would like to learn about 3 hidden rules inside of Take Profit Trader, make sure to watch this next video right here.